from the 405 freeway. I was in a Lyft on my way home from the airport, and the Lyft driver said, "Oh my gosh, there's like a cat in the road." And I was like, I see this little cat. Like, I was like, stop the car. And I grabbed her. She bit me, but I just like refused to let go. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this cat home?
Welcome to Unleash Curiosity by Vital Pet Life.
I'm Dr. Amber De Silva, veterinarian and advocate for integrative pet care.
And I'm Donnie Yamamoto, founder and CEO of Vital Pet Life. We're so glad you're here.
This is a space where curiosity, compassion, and science converge, where we explore the powerful mind-body connection that supports your pet's health and your own.
Each week, we'll dive deep into the world of pet wellness, breaking down myths, exploring ingredients, and learning from expert voices across the industry.
From nutrition and sustainability to transparency and advocacy, we're here to help you feel more confident, connected, and informed in your care choices.
So let's get into it, because when we know better, we do better. This is Unleash Curiosity.
Welcome back to Unleash Curiosity, the podcast where we explore the science, stories, and simple habits that help our pets live longer, healthier, and happier lives. I'm Donnie Yamamoto, and as always, I'm joined by Dr. Amber De Silva.
Hey everyone. In today's episode, we're focusing on a group of pets that are often misunderstood when it comes to longevity, and that's cats.
Yeah, cats are often labeled as low maintenance, independent, or easy. But what we've learned through science, rescue, and live experience is that independence doesn't mean immunity.
Exactly. Longevity isn't just about adding years, it's about improving quality of life, emotional well-being, nutrition, and environment over time.
And today, we're thrilled to welcome someone who brings a really unique perspective to this conversation. Merriman is a senior solutions engineer at Zoom, a lifelong animal lover, and a dedicated volunteer with Rory to the Rescue, helping kittens find loving homes.
Megan also shares her life with two cats, Nash and Noir, and brings together tech, advocacy, and heart in a way that really aligns with our mission.
Welcome to Unleash Curiosity. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, we are too.
Yeah. So, Megan, we'd love to start at the beginning. You grew up surrounded by cats on 5 acres in Virginia and later moved to Los Angeles, where you've built a career in technology. So, how did that early experience shape your relationship with animals today?
So, growing up in Virginia, I got my first cat when I was 3 years old, and he was practically bigger than me once he actually was full size. And I've just been an animal lover ever since I can remember. I grew up on 5 acres of woods. I was surrounded by deer and squirrels and rabbits and around friends' horses, friends' cats and dogs, right? And I just have always had a soft spot in my heart for animals. It breaks my heart when I see any animals suffering or being treated poorly. I have 2 cats today, but over the many years of my life between like family cats and my cats, like there's just been a lot of cats. And then, like you said, I volunteer my time with Rory to the Rescue, and they rescue kittens and cats from all of the LA animal shelters that are at risk for being euthanized. And yeah, so I help clean the cages and the areas where the cats live, and then socialize with the cats. And it just feels good that I'm helping these cats have a good life while they're waiting for their forever home. And sometimes you open the cages and they just like jump into your arms and they just want some loving. And, it's just, you can't get attached because, Rory does a really good job of finding them homes. But it's fun to play with them while they're there at their temporary home at Rory. That's so nice.
That's great.
Well, can you tell us a bit about your 2 cats, Nash and Neor, and how they became part of your family? Yeah. So get ready for some long stories here. So Nash, I've got her from the 405 freeway, a pretty well-known, very busy freeway here in Los Angeles. So I was in a Lyft on my way home from the airport, and the Lyft driver said, "Oh my gosh, there's like a cat in the road." And I was like, I see this little cat like bounding down the center divider.
Wow. Oh my God.
Next to the carpool on the 405. And so obviously, me being a cat lover and I can't stand to see animals suffering, I was like, stop the car. And So he stopped and I go running after this kitten because she was like just bounding down, the lane. And I grabbed her. She bit me, but I just like refused to let go. And I brought her into the lift and like she was bleeding from her paw. She was
Oh,
filthy.
really?
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this cat home? I already had two cats at my house.
Yeah.
And so, but that's how I got Nash, short for Nashville, since I was flying home from Nashville. And then Noir, on the other hand, he's like a devil cat. But I got him at the Best Friends Animal Rescue. I had, after my other two cats passed away and I just had Nash, she was a solo cat. And I thought, like, I really need to get her a friend. So I'm like, let me just stop by, Best Friends and see what's going on there. I kind of had in my mind, I wanted, like an older cat. I didn't want a kitten. But in the lobby, they had a bunch of cages set up with kittens, and Noir just like reached out and grabbed me. And of course, I'm like, okay, I can't leave him here. So
Oh. Did he really did she Nor's like a girl or a boy?
a boy. Noir's a
Okay.
boy.
So
Yeah.
he really put
Yeah,
his
I walked
paw
by
out?
and he stuck his paw out and was just,
Oh, yeah.
grabbing at me. So none of the other cats could care that I was there, but he
Wow.
was very vocal and just like, hey, look at me. They say cats choose their owners, right? We don't
Yeah.
choose
Yeah.
cats. They choose us. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did they get along together at first?
Well, so when you have a new cat introduced to your household, you always keep them separate, right? So I had Noir in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom and just to get him used to being in my place and the smells and the sounds and everything. And so like they met each other obviously under the door at first. And then
Yep.
once he was there for a little bit, I eventually let them out. And so they get along now, but Noir kind of beats up on her sometimes. All of a sudden you'll hear her screaming and Noir will be on top of her, biting her neck and holding her down.
So he's the boss of the house.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's funny because Nash is like this perfect little angel, and then Noir's this devil cat. He's like really smart. Okay, like way too smart. He gets into everything. He figures out how to open like my closets, my drawers, my cabinets. I had to, I didn't have children, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'll never have to put, child locks on anything, and here I am having to buy child locks for a cat.
My gosh. Okay. So let's jump into one of the biggest myths we hear. The cats are low maintenance. So from your experience in rescue and as a cat parent, what does that stereotype get wrong?
Well, to me, they are low maintenance, especially when it comes to dogs, right? But I think the biggest thing the stereotype gets wrong is that cats do need attention and they do
Mm-hmm.
need to have you play with them. It's not like, oh, they're just so independent and they don't need you to even play with them or give them any attention. But that's not correct because they definitely need attention and they will tell you that they need attention. But that's pretty much it. I mean, the thing is like cats, they are low maintenance because, you can depend on their their specific needs. Some cats you can leave food out all day long and they can free feed. They won't, overindulge. And then you don't have to take them out in the freezing cold or the rain and take it,
Yeah.
like you do for a dog, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you do have to keep their litter boxes clean and try to separate like their water and their food from their litter. So I mean, there are some things there they're picky about, but for the most part, yeah, they're low maintenance but you do need to give them attention and play with them.
Yeah. Well, Megan, from your rescue work, what are some of the quiet warning signs cat parents tend to miss? Like signs that can shorten a cat's lifespan if ignored.
So obviously cats can't talk. They're not humans.
Mm-hmm.
But my understanding from being a cat owner pretty much my whole life and working in cat rescue is that chronic kidney disease is widely considered the number one cause of death in cats and a leading cause of death for cats overall. And it's frequently cited as a silent killer, right? Because cats can't tell you what's wrong. So it's very important to pay attention to your cat's litter box habits. And if something seems out of the ordinary, you definitely want to take them to the vet and get them checked out. Yeah, so just make sure you're watching for any changes to their normal routines. A lot of times people don't understand that they're not behaving badly because they're just want to behave badly. Like there might be something actually medically wrong with them.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're going pee outside the litter box or, um, yeah, kidney disease is a big problem in cats. I would just add to that, like, along with the litter box habits, is the drinking. If you see your cat like sitting at the water bowl, like lapping like a dog laps, that's abnormal because cats don't typically have that kind of thirst drive.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
And
know
then,
that.
yeah, cats don't drink enough water. So they suggest to give them wet food to provide some of that water or that liquid for them so that they don't get dehydrated.
Mm,
Yeah. So, Megan, you work in a high pressure tech environment and you also volunteer at a rescue, two very different worlds. So, what have cats taught you about independence, stress, and balance?
So I like cats because they are, for the most part, independent in some ways, right? Yeah, you don't have to spend all your time with them because they do like to sleep for like almost 16 hours a day. So they do like their alone time, right? I like my alone time, So definitely like that they're independent in that sort of way. But I'm also a neat freak and a perfectionist. And so cats have taught me that it's like impossible to keep your home completely spick and span and everything perfect when you have pets, right? So there's going to be cat hair and litter everywhere where it
no.
shouldn't be. And, things are going to get ruined. There's just no avoiding it. So just, I've learned to kind of chill out a little bit and not stress about little things sometimes. I mean, it's almost like I was a cat in a past life because I do love sleeping at times.
I mean, cats are very revered, like Egyptian time. They have all like you see those.
They were
Like,
worshipped. Yeah. I
yeah.
think they still are. Some countries, still treat their cats with respect. Like I think Turkey, their street cats, they leave out food for them and you can't mess with those street cats. They're special.
So you think you're one of them?
Sleeping.
Oh, okay. Well, at Vital Pet Life, sustainability, traceability, and advocacy are core values. Like from your rescue perspective, like how do ethical choices in food, products, and sourcing directly impact animal welfare?
Well, so I'm definitely like a minimalist and I'm like kind of against that whole idea of like materialism and hyper consumption. And I'm conscious about throwing away something that worked just because it's old, right? I don't just run out and buy the newest thing just because it's the newest thing on the market. I'm not waiting in line to buy a new phone every time one gets released. And I drive my car for 10 plus years, right? So I think about what I'm throwing away. I'm very conscious about that. I make thoughtful choices in what I put into our trash, right? Because where is it going to go? But in addition to that, I think eco-friendly materials can help like reduce pollution and waste that threatens our wildlife, right? You hear about the turtles and the straws and all of the trash, animals getting wrapped up in things and dying
Yeah.
from eating plastics, so all of that definitely has an effect on our animals. And trying to avoid plastics as much as possible, right? Choosing biodegradable materials, all of that helps decrease the number of animals that are harmed in our environment.
Yeah.
If Nash and Noir could each tell you one thing they need from you to feel their best over the next 5 years, physically or emotionally, what do you think they would say?
So I kind of touched on this earlier. I think that they would ask for more attention and treats, obviously. Like I work from home and so like there'll be times I'm on a Zoom meeting and Nash will come bring me her ball and she wants to play fetch. I mean, and that's another thing. Like some cats do play fetch, like dogs. She will bring me the ball. She drops it at my feet. She'll meow at me. I have to pick up the ball and throw it. She goes and she gets it. She brings it back to me. So and then Noir will come up and start like tapping me on my arm. Like he just wants some attention. I'll let him jump on in my lap and, hey, he's on the Zoom meeting with me. Luckily people don't mind that there's a cat in my lap. But yeah, so they definitely have me trained as far as like giving me cues, like as to what they want and what they need, and attention and treats are the two things that they would like want from me at all times.
That's nice.
So it's not just me that's an animal lover. My brother, he has 5 dogs, 5 cats, 2 birds, a chameleon, and fish. And they also feed the foxes in their backyard. So their house
Oh,
is
wow.
it's kind of fun
It's
when
like
you
a
go over there,
zoo.
but you're definitely not leaving there without cat and dog hair all over you.
Yeah. So does everybody there get along? All the dogs and cats and birds and everything?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everybody gets along. I mean, there were some. I mean, my brother's had a lot of dogs over his lifetime as well. Him and his wife and 2 children. You know, this is like their second set of dogs that they've had. There were some problems in with the other dogs. Could kind of fought sometimes, but all of these dogs seem to get along.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
and the cats too. Yeah, I've never seen cat. You always hear about cats and dogs not getting along, but all the cats and dogs they get along just fine. It's kinda
Aw.
crazy. Yeah, it is. I mean, luckily, they live on, like, an acre of land, so they can let the dogs out if they need just, like, some calm, they'll just let the dogs out into they can run around the yard.
Nothing to be scared at.
Well, they run around barking, playing, going picking up sticks and playing with each other.
That
It's
must be
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Just gonna say my first cat when I moved away from home was an orange tabby, and I have to say, like orange tabbies are like they're known for being kind of slow, but and like having like crazy personality. So my cat Mojo, he was not slow, but he did have a crazy personality. He had like no fear. He would like at my parents' house. He lived there for a little while when I first moved to California, and they had an open foyer, so you could see down, from the top of the stairs. You could see down into the foyer, and he would sit there and walk along the railing,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
yeah. But when I first got him as a very tiny kitten, even I lived in a townhouse that was 3 stories, and we had basements in Virginia. You could see straight down to the basement from the top floor. And one time he disappeared and I looked down and he's like landed on the couch in the basement. So he had
Oh my
jumped,
gosh.
he had jumped or fell, I don't know, from the 3rd floor to the basement.
It's kind of
Oh my
scary.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. But cats land on their feet, right?
Yeah. So what kind of cat is Nash and Nyor?
Nash is I guess like a gray or brown tabby. I'm not sure
Okay.
what they would call her. I mean, she's a tabby. And then Noir's a black cat. But I mean, I've heard that all cats are technically tabbies.
Oh, really?
The way the fur is or something. Yeah. But I don't know.
Um,
In certain light, you can see like stripes on Noir too, even though he's a
that's
black cat.
long.
Yeah.
I'll always remember. Yeah, because I was just thinking, I'm like, Le Chat Noir, Noir, Noir in France.
Yeah. That's the French pronunciation.
Megan, when you rescued Nash off the freeway, how did you not get hit by a car yourself?
Well, luckily, it was like the shoulder next to the carpool lane. And, the Lyft driver stopped. So the cars behind him stopped. And I just, yeah, I'm surprised nobody got it on video or something because, like, why is
My
this crazy
gosh.
lady running down the shoulder of the 405 freeway,
Oh my.
I
How,
wish
how
I had recorded it, honestly, but, you don't think like that when you're trying to
Right.
but
save a
how
life.
far was the where the car was and the cat was? Like, was it a
So he spotted the cat, uh, kind of far up, and then she continued to run. So by the time we stopped, she had kind of run past the car. So I probably ran for like, I don't know, 10 feet or something to, yeah, to grab her.
Oh
I mean,
my
like she
gosh.
bit me. I was bleeding too. And I had to then obviously go get a tetanus shot because you don't know. Some cat bites can get infected and you got to make sure you're covered
Oh,
with
wow.
your shots. Yeah.
So I wonder how did she get into the freeway? Like this
Nobody knows. I mean, either there's 2 scenarios, right? We don't know, obviously, but one is she crawled up into the engine to stay warm for some reason and then fell out while driving there on the freeway, or somebody threw her out of the window,
yeah.
right?
Mm.
Most likely it's number 2. You don't want to think that, but
Yeah.
it happens more often than you'd
Not.
like to think, which is sad, you know.
And you
Yeah.
said that he was bleeding too?
Yeah, her paw was bleeding. I never really understood what caused it. Maybe if she was thrown out or fell out, she scraped her paw on the cement, or the pavement. But it wasn't terrible, but terribly bleeding, but it was bleeding a little bit. And yeah, she was just
Aw.
filthy. And when I did finally get her, well, that's another thing. When I got her home, I went to put her in the bathroom because obviously I didn't know she had any type of viruses or diseases or whatever, and I didn't want to get my cats infected, so I just put her in my bathroom, and literally she went flying off. I don't know why. I put her on top of the counter. I think I was planning on like washing her, and she just jumped off the counter and disappeared. It's not a very big bathroom, so I'm like, oh my gosh, am I crazy? Am I imagining this cat was here? Like, where did this cat go? I'm like opening up the cabinet doors. I'm like, where did this cat go? And finally, I realized there was a space between the cabinet and the wall, and she somehow found a hole and got up into the bottom of the cabinet in that hole and was like way back in the back of the cabinet, like, scared out of her mind. I actually
Yeah.
had a camera, luckily, that was small enough to stick up there and make sure she was alive and okay and everything, because she did not come out for like 2 or 3 days. She was so
Wow.
scared that she just sat in there
Oh
between the wall and the cabinet. Well,
my
like, and it was all playing out on Facebook, funny enough, because like, so everybody was invested in like, oh my gosh, what's going on with the cat? Has she come out of the cabinet yet? People were giving me things to do, like, I had another friend that worked in a cat rescue at the time, and she was like, oh, play like mom cat sounds and like see if she'll come out.
Oh.
Get like really smelly food and put it there and see if she'll come out. So she just, I think, had been so traumatized from being a freeway, right? And had no clue what was going on, and like she just needed a couple days to settle down and realize, okay, I think I'm safe. And here's the thing: when so I set up the camera in the bathroom to watch her,
Mhm.
and she started like sticking her head out, and so
Wow.
I was able to watch from the camera.
Mm.
Outside of the bath, I was watching from my phone because it was connected to my internet, obviously. And so I was watching, and she would stick her head out sometimes. But she just like kept making tiny steps, seeing if everything was okay. And then eventually, when I did see her come out, that's when I took the opportunity to go into the bathroom, and I had a towel and I snatched her up, right? And like stuffed the hole with something so she couldn't get back into the hole, right?
Oh my god.
And I don't think she had used the bathroom the entire time she was in there for the 2-3 days, because she let her bowels go. Like, well, not her bowels, her bladder, I should say. She just peed everywhere.
Oh my god.
Aw.
Poor
But then I was able to get, actually give her a bath, and she had fleas and she was just so filthy, she felt a lot
god.
better when she
I
had
wonder how long she was in the freeway too.
yeah, nobody knows. No
Just
idea.
like fleas and all. Like just like when Martin was rescued, like he was covered in fleas too
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't take long, I think, for animals
to get it.
to get fleas, right? So yeah. It is sad. I mean, I wish they could talk, right? And we could hear their story and what have you been through? Like, I had a cat. Well, actually it's not my cat, my mom's cat. She disappeared and ended up like 3 miles from home somewhere, and it's like, how did she end up here? Did somebody steal her? Did she walk the 3 miles? We had a dog. We went to see my sister. This was when we had a dog, and she was in college, and we took the dog with us to go see my sister, and the dog got scared and ran away. And we were like 4 hours from home, and the dog ran away. And I think it was, I can't remember all the details, but I think it was like 6 months later, we got a call from some animal shelter, and it was
What?
like 2 hours or something from where the dog ran away. Yeah. There's some
Wow.
Oh my
crazy
gosh. Wow.
stories. Yeah. And again, it's like if you could talk, what happened? What did you do on your adventure? You survive out in the
Yeah.
wild, and it was just
Did
so crazy.
did the dog have a microchip or a collar? Like, how did they know it was
She had a collar. Yeah, I don't even
okay?
remember. It was so long ago. Sorry to age myself, but yeah, it was a long time
Wow.
ago. Yeah, so many stories like that though. I love reading or watching those videos or reading stories about, these
Rescue.
animals that disappear and then they show up years later, and they remember their owners and yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even watch any of those now because like either the guys will be watching TV and they don't like it. They be barking, they'll be very loud, or I'll be traumatized and I'll be really sad.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's like it's hard to not tear up sometimes when
Yeah.
you see those stories. But the problem is now is I don't know if you've noticed this is like with all the AI stuff, like there's so many
Fake video.
fake AI stories out there now, and
Yeah.
ugh,
That's so true.
yeah.
You better
You
watch
you
out.
watch it and you're like you think it's real, and then at the end you're like, okay, wait a minute, that's
No,
not.
we were just talking about that with Dr. Amber
Yeah.
before. We are just
Oh
talking
yeah.
about like, are you sure if that's a real or is it a fake listing? Because Dr. Amber and her family is trying to adopt a dog and it's a dog
Oh.
that was being rehomed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like
Yeah.
you have to be careful. Yeah, there are some terrible people in this world and they don't care about animals at all.
I don't wanna think about that. I'm getting sad
Yeah.
now.
So that's why if you do find stray animals, right, you could bring them to the shelter. But if you decide like you're just gonna take care of them and try to find them homes, like charge money, right? Get some money for the money that you've put into taking care of these animals and vet these people out.
Yeah,
Because people aren't gonna spend a ton of money if they're just gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah,
Scary.
it's sad. Wait, Nash is here. Hold on. She was like right there.
I heard her meow early
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Okay, well, this is fun, Megan. It's gonna be cool putting stories out there like yours. This conversation, like my takeaways from this conversation is that, like, it just changed my perspective on cats when, Megan always tells me, like, oh, my cats are like your dogs. They always want to play and likes attention. Like, I think I always thought that cats are very low maintenance. I mean, I bet they are, but again, when it comes to attention, like, my guys, it's like 24/7. Like I need
Yeah.
to look at
You have a
them.
schedule.
Yeah, I'm on schedule. Yeah.
You have a schedule for your dogs, like their
Yeah.
children. But yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Dr. Amber?
I think it's really cool that you volunteer with the rescue, and I would just encourage more people to do that. There's so many pets that need homes, that need care until they
Yeah,
find homes. And I think that's a great way to just give love to some pets and then send them off to a really good home.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, also in addition to volunteering at a rescue, you can also be a foster. And fostering is also a great way. Like if you don't have the commitment to an animal for 10 plus years, right? Because animals
Yeah,
can live a long time. Try
Yeah.
fostering, right? So
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I can't foster because I would be attached.
foster fail big time.
I'm a foster male, but oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in to Unleash Curiosity. Big thanks to Megan Merriman for sharing your story, your heart, and advocacy with us today.
Thank you, Megan. How can our listeners reach you?
So I am on LinkedIn, but I'm not really on any other social media. LinkedIn is it.
And what
All
about
right.
maybe the Rory Rescue? Do you have yeah, you're a volunteer if people
Yeah, I'm
want
a
to.
volunteer there, so I don't have any type of. Yeah, I mean, you could always join their Instagram page and follow along to see
Yeah.
when the cats are available. Kittens
Yeah.
mostly, but cats too.
Yeah. Well, you can always email Vital Pet Life if you guys want to reach out to Megan and wanted to hear more about her rescue stories and two cats.
So before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. What's one insight you took away from this episode, or one change you've made or would recommend to meaningfully improve your cat's quality of life over the long term? If this episode resonated with you, share it with a fellow cat parent, leave us a review, and follow Unleashed Curiosity for more conversations about pet longevity, wellness, and the bond we share with our animals.
You can also email us at podcast@vitalpetlife.com or tag Vital Pet Life on social media. We'd love to share your insights with our listeners and viewers in our future episode. Until next time, stay curious.